What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. Pinch hitting today. You know him, Detroit sports media legend T-Foss, Terry Foster in the house.
Do you know what's going on today?
What's going on today?
You got to back that ass up today. That's what's got to happen.
Oh, boy.
I've been waiting for this all weekend. I want to see how you're going to behave yourself today.
Let's dig in, T-Foss. Right. You know,
Mr. Aggressive over there.
We're out here, T-Foss.
Okay.
We're out here in these streets. Speaking of streets, from the streets of Flint, of course, he is Arturo. Art in the house in the production booth. Fish is in the bowl as well, ready to get it popping. Art, I'm sorry that you lost the people money on your UFC parlay.
Listen, there's a reason why, I probably shouldn't be doing bets, and it's because I suck at them. But, you guys asked me for some, and I provided, and they didn't come through the way that I wanted them to.
Yeah, but if you employed our 2-point plan, I got you right on Saturday. Old Uncle Neal got you right.
I love that there's always a backup plan to my own stupidity and terrible bets. One of us is going to mess up, and it's most likely going to be me, and then you cover me, so it works out.
Absolutely, man. And hey, that's what I do. That's what Old Uncle Neal does. And Terry, Old Uncle Neal came through for the people Saturday night. If you had a bad day, I got you right. New Mexico State plus the 28. They lost by 7.
All right, finally.
You were never. Finally, we're 3-2. We're hitting 60%, Terry. You can make a living on hitting 60% of games. T-Foss, come on.
Not betting on Montana State and whoever the hell
if the ticket cashes, it cashes, Terry. And that's what happened on Saturday. But anyway, we roll on. Got a big-time show lined up for you here today. As we said, got T-Foss in the house riding shotgun with me. Joik and D-Mac will be back tomorrow, so we'll pick their brains on stuff that's going on as well. Big football Monday. It always is here on Woodward Sports on Big D Energy. Detroit Lions. We'll get to the Big Ten stuff as well. Michigan, some would say look dominant in their win. We'll discuss coming up in just a little bit. That's going to get heated, that whole discussion, too. I'm just telling you now.
Okay.
Just telling you now that's how it's going to be. We'll recap the NFL, recap some college as well, but got to jump right in. We have to, Terry, because social media was ablaze. The Lions never really had a chance to win that football game, and it was all self-inflicted.
Yeah, I would say that. And now I'm beginning to wonder if Dan Campbell knows what the hell he's doing. I think he continually makes mistakes that doesn't put the Lions in the best opportunity to win. And I will say this, I was in favor of his hiring because they needed somebody to stimulate that locker room. And I think he's done that. I think they've played harder than their talent would dictate. But once they get to a certain position, your coach is supposed to take you over the hump or put you in position to win, put you in position to at least have a shot at winning. And I think Dan Campbell has failed in that regard several times this season.
And I understand that, and I can get with that. And there are moments to this football game, certainly, that we're going to break down. And the heat is being turned up right now. And you guys know where I stand. I mean, for me, get the T-shirts, the Honolulu Blue T-shirts with the silver hashtag 2023. We're 4 of 34 in right now. To me, Terry, and I'll hold this stance all season long, no matter how bad it gets, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I would even say this. I mean, from a Lions perspective, in my kind of 35,000-foot view of what I want to see happen, it was a good weekend. Because the Jets won, the Giants won. There's but 2 winless teams now in the NFL. Your Detroit Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we're well on a trajectory right now to having 3 of the first 35 or 36 picks in next year's draft. Because that's what it is for me. I know everyone's going to poo-poo when I say the lack of talent on this roster. I understand that they're going to say, they want a pound of flesh. I get that. But it just doesn't matter to me, Terry. This is me, one of the more negative people about the Lions ever.
And a lot of people say, here's the problem. We keep telling this fan base, let them lose. Let them get draft picks. And you know what? They've lost. They've got draft picks. And guess what? This roster's still void of talent.
Sure.
They still stink. And I keep hearing this is a rebuild. What are they rebuilding from? They were never built. So how's it a rebuild?
That was something I did think about on the
Right.
way in here because I keep hearing that terminology too, a rebuild. Well, a rebuild would mean you have to have something built in the first, like rebuild
Right.
from when Ndamukong Suh was here and they were making the playoffs and
Right.
going 11-5, because that rebuild, I mean, you can build a skyscraper in the time it takes
What
to do
did it
that.
get you?
No, and I understand that. It's the skill set of the people that are making the call with the draft now. That's what's different to me. We have evidence of it in L.A. with the Rams and how they were built, and I know we've heard this a million times, Terry. I should call this, today is a both things can be true Monday, because you're not wrong. But at the same time, Brad Holmes, this is what he's here for. And he's here for the draft that just happened, which the early returns are, where are the difference makers? You know, I mean, that's what it is. Where are the difference makers? In the Sewell thing, Sewell had a rough game yesterday, and I understand that. He did. And I'm a big Sewell supporter and everything like that. But it was a rough game. And Taylor Decker sounds like he has a chance to come back next week, but whatever with all that. That's why, for me, it is different this time around because of the skill set involved. I don't ask Fish to come back here and host the show. You know what I'm saying? Just like Fish wouldn't have me come in there and run the audio, because both things would be like giving a machine gun to a baby. You know what I'm saying?
I think Fish could do an okay job. He would just be a Lions diehard the whole time. Yeah, the Lions, they lost, but it's okay.
And you wouldn't get that, and you also, it would not be all American sports.
Yeah, and we lose all our audience as he's talking about Manchester City.
Yep.
Or something like
which,
that.
by the way, there was a great game yesterday.
it was
saw
a good
2-2.
game.
All right, here we go. Anyway.
It was a good game. Tammy Chin on our YouTube chat thread. And remember, you can get involved on our YouTube channel. Load that up. Get involved in the chat thread. You can also give us a call at 313-552-6322 as well. That's an option also. But Tammy Chin says, Terry is right. Or rebuilding from what? They were never built. So, and
Right.
you're not wrong. Both things can be true Monday, Terry.
If you have a bunch of rubble in the middle of the street and then you kick over the rest of the rubble and then try to, put something over the rocks, are you really rebuilding? No, you're just trying to pick up some trash. You're trying to make junk look good. And I keep hearing this Lions rebuild. What are you rebuilding it to? Are you rebuilding it to 5-12? Are you rebuilding it to crap? That's all we've had here in this city is crap. Now, I'm part of the problem. I would admit this. I keep telling these people, just wait. Get your draft picks. The season doesn't matter. But these folks are going to the game and watching TV like, okay, we got to win today. They are living and dying on these Lions winning a game here and there. And it's not happening. But,
and it ain't going to happen, Terry.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I don't care because I know losing is better for this franchise because I believe in Brad Holmes. I don't care because this roster, who are the playmakers on this roster? Swift might be a playmaker. Might be a playmaker. But in the NFL, yes, you need your trench guys. You need your offensive linemen. You need your defensive linemen. And that's what they're building now. Their defensive line is actually pretty dangerous. But at some point, I'm going to go back to the great Wayne Fontes who would say, we got a good team, but we got to make plays. In other words, you need playmakers. You need difference makers. It's like you can wear a black suit out and look nice and everything, but if you wear that big plaid suit, that's like, whoa. The Lions have to turn into a plaid suit where you look at them and say, damn, what in the hell is that? That's because they're making plays. They're difference makers. The NFL is going, putting their shades on and saying, wow, what is this? Now the Lions are a joke. Nobody pays attention to the Lions except Lion fans. Even us in the media say, it doesn't matter. Let them lose. Let them get draft picks. And I think people are sick of it. I think people are sick of hearing it. And I'll admit, they're probably sick of me because that's what I preach.
Well, Terry, I would just like
they're crap.
I would like to say this, and I would never say this with Darren here and Joyke here because it would just be madness. But I'd like to say I told myself if they didn't beat Chicago, I was out completely. And the fact that not a seasoned vet, but like Jared Goff and his team could not beat Justin Fields, who's a rookie, and the Bears beat us, and now we're 0-4. My question to you is, Terry, how do you heal? How do we heal? Because this hurts. This really hurts. The fact that we lost to the Bears.
See, I'm not feeling that at all, though, Art. I'm not feeling that at all because it's 4 of 34, man.
I know, but I looked at it and I made the mistake of the Lions limo, and now I'm just sitting here like the limo's broke down and it's on fire and I'm crying.
Who told you that limo was jalopy? Who told you that limo was already jacked up on some bricks with no tires?
I know.
Who told you that limo had no motor in it?
Is it too late to get a second team? Can I get a second team until, game 34 and then I'll go back to the Lions?
See, this is the thing about this whole Lions experience for me. It's good to get together and talk like we all are right now, and everybody that's on the YouTube chat
Nothing
thread.
changes.
It's good to get together. No, it's good though. It's good for all of us to talk because we're all on the same highway right now. We're just all on a different exit. Everybody's on their own individual exit right now. It's like when you take that trip up north to Traverse City. We're all on the same highway.
Yeah.
We all have the same destination, but we're just on different exits right now. And for me, it doesn't matter. If anything, yesterday was good because, like I said, there's only 2 winless teams now: the Lions and the Jaguars.
I know, but how can you sit there and now we have to wait 2 years? We've waited all this time. Now we got to wait for more. We're rebuilding on a team that has nothing.
I know, but now finally, and again, if you watched us at the show yesterday, in the Lions pregame show, myself and Joyke Bell and Maz, we were at O'Toole's in Royal Oak, and we were talking about it. That's where I am. Because Brad Holmes can go to work now. For the reason he was brought here, Terry, what was the one reason he was brought here? The only reason.
To bring in young talent.
Through the draft. That's why he's here. That the whole organization has taken on that philosophy now, and that was never here before, where he values the draft capital. I know no one wants to hear that. Oh, yes. But you're going to hear that 3 times in the first 35 picks next year, in the next 2 years, Terry.
I agree with you 1,000,000,000%. Not 1,000,000, but 1,000,000,000%. The problem is this poor fan base is they
which I'm a part of. Yeah, which I'm a part of, Terry.
No, you're not.
I was I bought season tickets for 3 years after they were 0-16.
You are not the part of the fan base that's living and dying on every game where they got to win this game. These poor people, Art's one of them, and Fish is one of them. Yeah. They got to win this week. This is my team, damn it. And then they don't win. And you understand that it's for the betterment of the organization, and all they feel is heartache.
It hurts.
Damn, we lost again.
But that's where it comes into play that we're all on the same highway, just on different exits. I passed that exit a while ago.
No.
I did. Terry, I bought gas at that exit.
No, baby. You are in a plane flying above these poor schleps over here.
No, Terry, we're all on the same highway, man. I'm a man of the people. I drove. I didn't get the private jet like you would, Terry. You put the hat on and get in the private jet out of Oakland County Airport.
You got the private jet because you know they don't have to win every week. These guys are in the position of, my Lions got to win on Sunday or else.
No, Terry, I stopped at that exit already. I gassed up the car. I bought a big grab bag of Funyuns, a big bottle of water.
Did you get a big gulp?
No, I don't do the sugar. So
can we at least say that you're in one of those big luxury RVs because you know better?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Better.
But TFOS is always in the private jet. It comes with the contract. I understand that.
That is true.
But no, that's where I am. I mean, I'm on the same highway as everybody else, guys. I am. It's just I understand. This is a write-off, man. This is like a charitable donation.
This hurts.
And in April, you're going to reap the benefits of it.
Oof.
But I know April's a long way off.
All right.
But
do you know what I went to yesterday? I went to a Lions pregame victory party. What? In my neighborhood. And, everybody's all tense. Are the Lions going to win today? I'm the only one there just watching like, okay, just whatever happens, happens. I don't give a damn.
Terry's just there for the free food.
Yeah, I'm there for the free food.
He knows the heartache's coming, and he's like, "You guys are all idiots."
I was there for the free food and the Molsons. They had Molsons there. But everybody's tense like, oh, okay, they're already down 14-0. Are they going to come back? And I'm like, I'm just watching the game.
I do want to get to this before we get to the break, though. James Vega says to sit here and root for high draft picks is sad. But James, I will say this: like that's what it is, guys. That's why Brad Holmes is here, and that's why to me it's different. But it's not going to be different for right now.
Well, I mean, what do they want? What are we supposed to do? Root for losses? That's all that we're getting right now. Like I've realized it hit me in the head yesterday. I was like, you guys are right. Like, continue to lose all season, please.
And that's where I'm different, I guess you would say, than a regular fan here. But we'll continue this discussion right after I talk to you about my bookie. Look, you guys knew, judging by the chat thread, you all knew what was going to happen. Did you fire up that app on your phone, the MyBookie app, and did you unload on the Chicago Bears yesterday? And if you did, you were sweating because a backdoor cover was loading. It was, and we'll talk about that whole 4th and 1 situation. We'll talk about Dan Campbell in just a couple of minutes. But it's winning season at MyBookie this week. Entries are now open for the winner-take-all Super Contest. MyBookie is the only sports book that offers online Super Contests, so you don't miss out on this exclusive promotion. Enter now and turn $10 into $10,000. Weeks 5 through 8. Make 5 picks against the spread. Get them right, earn points, rise up the standings, and take home the $10,000 grand prize. Packers, Bucks, Titans, Vikings, Ravens. Boom! You're already set. There, I did the heavy lifting for you. And as if you need another reason to head to mybookie.ag to celebrate the start of the MLB playoffs, MyBookie's hosting a $20,000 blackjack tournament that is absolutely free to enter. Come on, people. It's free to enter. Get in there. Winning season is here. So get in the game with mybookie.ag right now. Use the promo code Woodward Sports when you make your first deposit at MyBookie, and you'll receive double your deposit. That's promo code Woodward Sports, so you can double your funds to double your winnings. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a problem gambling? Call the Michigan Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back at it here, off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. T. Foss, Terry Foster, Detroit sports media legend in the house. Darren McCarty, Joy Bell. They'll be back running tomorrow. Fish is in the bowl. Art is in the building as well. The proud child of the Flint streets that he is. But we're talking Detroit Lions, and you guys are fired up. I mean, this YouTube chat thread is exploding right now. Certainly you can call as well at 313-552-6322. Also, our Twitter handles are on the screen as well. Send us tweets, however you want to get involved. We're certainly glad that you are. But the Lions fall to the Bears, and of course, we're digging deep on that right now. And Terry, the big play, other than the snap off the face of Jared Goff from Frank Ragnow. But those are the kind of things, man. Frank Ragnow is a good player. Like, I think that anyone across the board, Lions fan, Lions hater, even if you got Adam in here, I think he would tell you Frank Ragnow is a good player. It has been a minute since I've seen the ball get snapped off an NFL quarterback's face mask, though.
Yeah, if you have miscommunication, it doesn't matter how good you are. It's going to be a crap show.
Yeah, and they paid the ultimate price. Yeah, they paid the ultimate price for that. But the big hot topic of debate, and I put a tweet out about it yesterday after it happened, was the 4th and 1. I forget exactly. What was that? There was 4 minutes left. They had 4th and 1 at the Chicago 8, and the Lions go for it, and they throw an incomplete pass. And Terry, I didn't have a huge problem with it the way that Twitter did, and I saw you were out on Twitter as well, so you were surfing those waters. Social media world was not happy about not kicking the field goal. I didn't have a huge problem with it. I'll tell you why in a minute, but I'm curious to get your thoughts.
Yeah, here's what you do in a situation like that. First of all, a normal NFL team would probably go for it.
Thank
but
you.
The Lions are not normal.
Fair.
One, they cannot run the ball successfully on 4th and 1, so they have to pass. The other thing with the Lions, if you're trying to actually win this game, you're trying to make this a one-score football game. Once you don't make the play, the game is over. At least extend the game. So I would have kicked the field goal. I know that you're on this aggressive tack and everything, but you kick the field goal, make it a one-score game, and what happens in the NFL is you kick off, or you can onside kick, but you probably kick off. The other team turns ultra conservative. Usually it's 3 and out, and they punt, and you get the ball again. You got another shot. You're in the game. Dan Campbell took himself out of the game once he didn't make that play.
Right, and for me, my problem isn't the decision to go for it, and Chuck Brewer says it was a bad call, no-brainer, you have to extend the game. And Chuck earlier in the chat thread asked me about my thoughts on Michigan. Did they show you anything? And he was kind of, you know how he was being about that. Chuck's a Michigan guy, which is cool, he takes all kinds. But I would say this, Chuck, because when I talk about the Michigan game, I'll say the one thing that Jim Harbaugh showed me was the way they went out to make a statement. Go for it on 4th down. Go for it on 4th down. Go for it on 4th down. And I bet Chuck was one of those Michigan fans that were like, I love this. This is great. And those were the same people that are saying, no, you don't go for it. The analytics suggest that you'll pick up that first down over 80% of the time. And I know what you're saying, Terry.
Unless you're the
Lions. I get that. And I understand that. I do. My problem wasn't the decision to go for it. My problem was the play call to where, for me, if you tell me everything's different, if you tell me things are going to be different, then do different things. And the different thing is we're going to go behind our number 7 overall draft pick, or we're going to go behind one of the guards or whatever. We're handing the ball off to Jamal Williams, and we're getting a yard. And I'll tell you what play we're running, and you can't stop it.
Have you seen the Lions on 4th and 1 the last 5 years?
500 years?
And that includes this year.
Yes.
They don't line it up, hand it to the running back, and make it on 4th and 1. They get stacked up. They lose a yard. The Lions are not a power football team. They can't make that 1 yard. So that's out of the playbook. They might make it 15 or 20% of the time because they're not a team that has a strong enough line and strong enough running game to make that play. So to me, on 4th and 1, the only thing you can do is a short pass if you want to try to make it. But one more time, yes, I agree with aggression, go for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 1, 4th and 1. But then when you get to the end of the game, you're down there and it's like, okay, we got to make sure we can extend this game. We got to make sure that we don't end the game right now, which is what the Lions essentially did. So they try a short pass. It's not, don't make it. So now you got 4.5 minutes and the game is done.
Which I get. And I think at the core we both agree because I think it's just who we're talking about with what you said. Because again, going by the analytics, I think every NFL team should go for it on 4th and 1 every single time that they have the ball, no matter where they are in the field. I mean, depending on game situation, if there's 50 seconds left and you're up by 2 or whatever. I mean,
so if I'm at my 15-yard line, it's 4th and 1, you should go for it.
Analytically, yes, because you're going to make it 4 out of every 5 times. So analytically, yes.
You're the Detroit
Unless
Lions.
you're the Detroit Lions, and that's the rub, Terry. That's the rub. I mean, again, Michigan turned the entire attitude of that game against Wisconsin around by going for it on 4th down.
That is college football. And what does Michigan do best offensively? They run the football.
It sure isn't passing it, right?
Right. They can pass, but that's what their bread and butter is. The Lions' bread and butter is what? Tell me. Go ahead. I'll give you all damn show. What is the Lions' bread and butter?
Having a top 5 draft pick.
I'm talking about on the football field.
On the football
what
field.
What is their bread and butter?
Right now, Jared Goff statistically is okay.
How about nothing? They don't have a bread and butter. It's just a flat white piece of bread with no butter, no peanut butter, no meat on it. They don't have an identity. Michigan has an identity. Michigan, we're going to try to knock your block off. We're going to run the football. It doesn't matter when. We don't give a damn. The Lions, they're like, we don't know what it is, but we're going to get it one day.
It's funny, too, because I always tease and say, T. Foss is a legend because he's been in a 30 for 30, when you were in the Pistons 30 for 30. But Joe Dumars said something very telling in that 30 for 30. I think it applies to all sports. He said, tell me a great team that doesn't have an identity. You can't.
No, you sure can't.
I mean, go through the history of any sport with any team. All the greats, all the champions have an identity. They have something that they do. It's their calling card. And you are right. You are right. There is not an identity. What is the play when it's 4th and 1 for the Lions? What is it? I hope it's not that, what we saw them run on 4th and 1 yesterday.
Punt or kick a field goal.
Punt or kick a field goal. That's it. And I keep hearing that the things are different, though. But I keep seeing the same things. You know what I'm saying?
SOL, brother. It is.
Except for the draft capital philosophy, Terry.
Right.
That's the only thing
Brad
different.
Holmes has to be the savior around here. Now, we talk about Dan Campbell and the kneecaps, and we talk about Penei Sewell, but the guy that's going to make this work has to be Brad Holmes, because this is a young man's league, and he's bringing in the young men. He's going to get high draft capital, and he's got to hit. If he doesn't hit, then poor little guys like Art and Fish are going to be crying for the next 20 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, just remember that, though, people. That was my main takeaway through everything that happened yesterday. The Jets won a game that I think on paper they had no business winning, beating the Titans, especially in a game where Derrick Henry had, 140-plus yards or whatever it was he had. If I'd have gave you that box score before the game, you would have said, no way, but the Jets won. Somehow they won, which is good. The Giants won.
So this is the first week of October, and you've already given up.
Well, I had given up.
You gave up in August.
I gave up in August, man. That, I never – you have to be doing something in order to give it up, though. I never really even started doing it.
And once again, you have to build something for it to be a rebuild.
Right. See, we're getting places right now, people. We get together, we talk these things through, and we think we have differences, Terry.
We don't. It's a healing Monday. That's what it is.
It is. It's a both things can be true Monday. I understand you. If you're upset about the play call on 4th down, I understand. I'm here to listen. The YouTube chat thread, you guys are making your feelings known, and I'm here for it. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because there's only 2 winless teams in the NFL right now, and the Lions are one of them.
All right, can I say something very, very rude? Why do you get upset about the Detroit Lions? This is not a one-year thing. This is, you know what? I can tell, I can close my eyes and know if somebody's young or not. I hear them say, the Lions have been bad for 10 years. No, they have not been bad for 10 years. They've been bad for 50 years. They had the little thing in the 90s where they're okay. They had Barry Sanders. I always say this. One, when we're blaming Matthew Stafford for everything, I always said this. There's one man walking the face of the earth who has a playoff win in a Lions uniform. That's Eric Kramer. Rodney Peete did not win a playoff game as a starter with the Detroit Lions.
Right.
He left to go to Philadelphia, and the next year won a playoff game. Do you know who it came against? The Detroit Lions.
42-7 at halftime.
No. It was 51-7 at halftime.
Was it? I thought it was 42.
No.
We'll have to get the research department on that.
They
one.
were killing them.
I know they ended up putting a Fitty burger on them, though. I know that for sure.
58-37 was the final.
Yep. What'd you have, Fish?
I didn't have anything.
Oh, okay.
I thought
He
the
was
Lions
just moving his
played
lips.
fine.
He had
was
nothing
he?
to say. Yes.
All right, cool. You know who does have something, though? Northwestern Tech has something going on right now, and you can start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. We've talked about air conditioning. Now we're going to flip that around. The furnace talk will be going on. You can be the guy that comes out to people's houses. You can be the guy with that stable living that always is essential and always is in demand. You can learn more by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. T-Foss, Terry Foster in the house for D-Mac, and of course, Joik Bell. They will be back with us tomorrow, taking all your thoughts and all your interactions. Travis Lampman on our YouTube chat thread just said Jim Caldwell looks pretty good right about now, doesn't he? What about the nuts and bolts of Dan Campbell? I know it's 4 games in. I do appreciate the fact that he is aggressive because people. What do we always say, Terry? You got to be more aggressive. We're going to talk about Michigan in just a couple of minutes.
All these coaches are too conservative.
Right.
We do say that. But there is a time to be smart. There is a time where, okay, we're 2 scores down. The clock is not our friend. We got to make it a 1-score game. Now, on the other hand, we can say this. Who gives a damn? They're not going anywhere anyway. But you want to see that your coach is competent. I am seeing that Dan Campbell, enthusiastic guy, but he may not be competent in critical situations. That's the scary part because at some point the games will count and he's going to make the same stupid mistakes.
And based on the data we have right now, Terry, I mean, it hasn't worked so far. But again, I do grow concerned because after a while, you are the sum of your resume, right? I mean, the decisions you make, that's what you are. At least that's what's on the record. So I do grow concerned about that. And if I want to be consistent, the same thing that I said about Jeff Okudah is it was apparent he couldn't play right from the start, and it ain't going to get any better. How often are you terrible, and then all of a sudden you morph into the number 3 overall pick? You don't. It doesn't happen. No. You become what your track record says you are. Or you
could become like a 6th-round draft pick, which is not good enough when you drafted 3rd.
Right. The stakes change. The data changes, so the stakes change. And what you're expected to accomplish changes as well. So I do grow a little bit of concern about that. But I do like the nature, and I'll stay with it because I did want change. I mean, what was the knock on Jim Caldwell, right? I mean, he was
clock management.
Yep, player's guy. The clock management thing, maybe over-conservative at times.
Monday through Saturday, the perfect coach for this team because they respected him. He respected those players as men, and they played for him. They overachieved for Jim Caldwell. The problem is, in the last 2 minutes of a game, you're trying to, milk the clock or let it run out, and Jim Caldwell couldn't count. That was the problem with him.
yeah, exactly. And he had 2 watches. You ever get the explanation?
No, he had 3.
3 watches? 3. Man, Kevin Gates only had 2 phones. Why does he have 3 watches?
I don't know. But
did you ever get the explanation for that? Anybody ever ask?
I think they did, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. If anybody out there, if you're in the YouTube chat thread, if you know the reason why, just kindly let me know because I'm curious about that. Why did he have so many watches? But yeah, I mean, it is. By the way, your hat is a big hit in the chat thread as well, which I knew it would be. I mean, you brought heat today, Terry. Let's be real.
I'm just excited to be here on a Monday. A healing Monday.
Check the report.
That's right.
check T-Foss's closet report. No, you brought heat today, though, Terry. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just excited to be around true professionals like you guys.
Yeah.
So I wore the hat.
Yeah. Okay. I'll buy that one.
If I had hair like you, I probably wouldn't wear the hat.
Hair like me? What do you mean? I don't know.
It's there.
It is. It's there. I guess that's a big qualifier, right? No, it is a big qualifier. But I did want to get into the Michigan stuff as well. And we'll talk about Michigan State coming up in just a few minutes. But I think the Michigan stuff is a little more pressing. What you got, Art?
I actually have an answer for the 2 watches.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, so the Detroit News, there was an article from a while back talking to Caldwell, and he said Miss Ford had a watch that was made for certain individuals and one she had made for me. I think William Clay Ford had a similar watch, and so on game day, I always wore that watch in honor of her and what it meant to her. That's why I wore 2 watches. So he wore a watch for himself and then a watch that was given to him. So
Man, I was hoping it was something we could make fun of.
no,
But you can't.
That's deep. Yeah,
That is deep.
Yeah.
That's cool. Then
Yeah, and that's
give him a
from
hard time about
the Detroit News from August 7th, 2020. So
And for me, too, with Jim Caldwell, like when Joyke Bell sits in this chair, or you interview Calvin Johnson, or you talk to Ndamukong Suh, I mean, guys with juice, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They all, to a man, you do not find a dissenter of Jim Caldwell. And that's why I've always kind of cut him in the past, too.
When they wanted to fire him, I had the pulse of the locker room a little bit. My thought was, yeah, he does make mistakes at the end of games, but it's a very dangerous situation if you fire this guy, because they were overachieving. And a lot of people say, well, no, the Lions had talent. No, they didn't. They didn't have 9-7 talent. He got it out of them, but maybe he made mistakes that prevented them from going 10-6.
Yeah.
So, but I thought whoever came in was going to have a tough time winning over that locker room. And then Matt Patricia comes in trying to be Bill Belichick.
And set off a bomb in that
Bam.
whole compound.
Oh, yeah, it was a stink bomb.
Yeah, I mean, just people were pushed out of that. Or I mean,
Yep.
you know, Terry, I had some of the conversations. You had some of the conversations.
If I said something, I'm talking about if a player said something that was contradictory to the coaching staff, even if it was for the betterment of the team, they got you out of there.
Right.
They didn't want to deal with you.
Right.
And that's stupid.
And that's what happened. And you know, I'm sure you've had off-the-record conversations. I've had off-the-record conversations where it was rough. Let's just say it like that.
Yes.
It was never going to be successful. In retrospect, obviously, it was never going to be successable.
No.
We'll just leave it at that.
Well, it could have been successful if you came in with the right approach. You came in with you were told, I'm talking about Matt Patricia, you were told, don't take this approach. And he was like, I'm Matt Patricia, I do what I feel like doing. So he came in, was all roughshod, big bull in the room, and it blew up on him really quick. He could have won over that locker room if he treated them like men, treated them with respect, and didn't come in like, I'm Bill Belichick. Because the only guy that can get away with Bill Belichick stuff is Bill Belichick.
Yeah, you know, there's a certain pecking order in terms of
when he's got
juice.
Tom Brady on his side.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that game last night, too. I was intrigued to watch it. I just wasn't very happy with the game itself. I mean, the weather and, you know, the execution. But
hey, it's New England at night. That's going to happen sometime.
No, I get it. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But hey, real quickly before we wrap up the Lions discussion for now anyway, Terry, Jared Goff's getting a lot of heat. And doing some digging, Jared Goff's numbers are good. They are good in relation to, I think, what we expected here as Lions fans. The numbers are good, but the 4th and 1 or the 3rd and long, the big time play hasn't been there. What's kind of your view on Goff so far?
I don't care about numbers, and I had this conversation with people in the Lions front office with Matthew Stafford. I don't care about numbers. I care about wins and losses. I care about fumbles at inopportune times. I care about a ball bouncing off your chest into the hands of the Chicago Bears. I care about key interceptions. I care about getting into the red zone and can't score. That's what I care about. So if you look at the NFL, people or quarterbacks with the better numbers usually lose. That's because they're behind, playing from behind, and they're winging it up and down the field, but they can't get into the end zone. So I don't give a damn about the numbers. You can keep them. Put them in your back pocket.
I understand, but I think the argument can be made, though, and look, yeah, it hasn't resulted in wins and losses, so I guess it's a moot point. But has he been better than you thought he was going to be? The same, worse?
He's been what I thought he was. He hasn't exceeded my expectations. He hasn't fallen short. This is what I thought he would be. Now, the only thing that I did not foresee is I think he's great for one half of a football game, and then he stinks for the other half. So now he's got to figure out, and the Lions have to figure out, how do you piece together 2 good halves of football on the same day. Not one at 1 o'clock on Sunday the 13th and another one at 3:30 p.m. on the 20th. That's what they need to figure out. How do you do that?
Khalil on our YouTube chat thread says this receiver group isn't as bad as people make them out to be. I thought they did. They have shown some growth. I thought, because I was a big Cephas guy. St. Brown, given for what the investment is in him, it's fine. It's whatever. I would agree. I don't think that receiver corps has been as bad as. I mean,
They're
thought.
Awful. Stop it. They're awful.
No, thought there was going to be
destitute. Did we think
destitute.
they couldn't run? That they would be walking down the field and drop
maybe
passes?
Yeah.
No. I mean, they are young. They are guys. They are athletes. So, yeah, they're not horrible, but they're not NFL standard as a group.
Sure, and that is fair. And that is fair.
There's no separation. You better squeeze that ball into these dudes or else they're not going to catch the ball.
Right. No, I get it. I mean, it's just, for me, it all goes back to that 4th and 1 play where this team has run the football this year, and they've run it pretty consistently.
Not on 4th and 1.
But not on 4th and 1.
Try to get 1 yard. To have the Lions light up on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 and say, get this yard.
Right.
Your 80% conversion rate is going to be way off.
No, I get it. I understand that, and that certainly was the case. It's just, for me, we talk about this different attitude, and we have seen it just in terms of the way they go for it. But if it's 4th and 1, man, then damn it, go get the one. And take the intricacies out of it in terms of running a pass route where you have to throw the pass. A pass has to be caught, has to not be defended, all that stuff. Just punch it up in there behind your number 7 overall pick and say, damn it, you're not stopping us right now. And that was my problem with it. It wasn't the fact that they went for it.
And you know what? You would have lost a yard on the play.
Well, we'll never know. We'll never know. And that's part of the problem.
He'll be in that situation again. He'll try to run it and he'll fail. I guarantee you that.
Yeah. Well, I was in a situation camping this year.
Really?
And it was pretty dark out there, Art.
Yeah, well,
I was
listen.
like, man, I wish I had some light out here.
Listen, you need to visit our friends at Coast Portland because 1919, since then, Coast has pursued one mission to make the working professional's job safer and life easier. Listen, I have my own Coast knife. I actually have a couple of them. They're awesome. They're sharp. They're durable. And today, Coast lights are a favorite amongst tradesmen and women, outdoor enthusiasts, do-it-yourselfers, first responders, and more. Whether it's a knife you're looking for, a good hunting knife, a good machete, a good light that you need while camping, just like Neal, well, visit coastportland.com. Use the code WSN20. Get 20% off of your purchase. Sign up with our Coast crew to take advantage of special discounts, early access to new products, and more. Again, that's 20% off code is WSN20. We got more Big D Energy with Neal, Ruhl, and Terry Foster right after this.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. T-Boss, Terry Foster in the house as well. Fish in the bowl. The child of the Flint Streets, Arturo, is here also. Did want to change gears a little bit. Still talking football. As you know, it's a football reaction Monday here on Big D Energy. Joik Bell, Darren McCarty. They'll be back with us tomorrow, so we'll get their thoughts on everything as well. Also have to settle the egg bet tomorrow because the Michigan Wolverines pounded the Wisconsin Badgers 38-17. And I know Chuck Brewer in our YouTube chat thread's been asking for my take on this. So here we go, guys. You want it? I'm going to give it to you. Look, we did the show live from Big Boy, and you heard me talk about it to where if they go in there and they win and they're dominant, I'll say maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something here with this Michigan team. But I think the one thing, and this is going to sound bad, and people are going to jump on me about this, but this is a both things can be true Tuesday.
Yes.
All right? It's a both things can be true Tuesday. Michigan may have something. I will go so far as to say, from what I've seen, I would expect Michigan to beat Michigan State.
Don't do this. Neal, you know with doing this that this only strengthened Joik's, like, he's going to turn into Mega Joik now, and he's just going to want 40 eggs instead of 4. I mean,
No, but see, follow me here. Just follow me here on this
I'm
one.
following.
Okay?
I'm following.
It was a nice win.
Yes.
This was, which is true. That's a true statement. It was a nice win, and they looked very good. Period. This Wisconsin team, I haven't seen Wisconsin look like this since the 80s.
Oof.
They are rough. I heard the stat on the way in. Wisconsin had pressure on all 29 pass attempts or something. I mean, this Wisconsin team is bad. And you look through it, the numbers back it up, averaging 14 points per game against teams that aren't Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. So, they're not very good. And here's the thing, and for Chuck and all the Michigan fans out there, I'm not being an ass about this. I'm having a discussion. Let's have a discussion about it. I would say, from what I saw on social media and people's takes, where with this Michigan team, everything that Michigan is saying about this win over Wisconsin is the exact same thing that they denigrated Michigan State's win over Miami about.
But now what they're going to say, Neal, is that you're just trashing Wisconsin because you can't admit that Michigan's a great team. They're going to win it all.
No, both things can be true.
That is true.
Both things can be true.
I'm just reading the comments. They're coming in.
Oh, no, I know. And I get it. And I know that it's going to be. I know what it's going to be. Did I say it was Tuesday? J.D. Smith, I'm sorry. It's a football Monday. My apologies, man. Probably got crossed up because D-Mac and Joik Bell will be back in the house on Tuesday. But whatever. We got through it. But, for this Michigan team, here's where I will give the credit. And this ties in with the whole Dan Campbell thing for me. I think Michigan really set a tone for that game. And in particular, Jim Harbaugh really set a tone for that game where they came out and they got the football. And I don't remember on that first drive, I think they were at, their own 35 or something like that?
And you mentioned Michigan State and how Michigan could beat Michigan State, and it leads me to believe that that's a possibility. But then I look at both teams. They're so strong off the first quarter, it's like boom, 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 and they hit it and they get it out of the way. And then I'm not saying that they coast, but both teams get those scores in early to set the tone. How do you see that playing out as the weeks go on and on? Because now they're going to start facing teams that are doing the similar thing.
Well, for Michigan, it's still a cakewalk all the way into the Michigan State game. And that's something that I talked about, and I was upfront with you guys about that. There was nothing that they could show me. I even said that yesterday. I said I will take it away. If they go in there and pound Wisconsin the way they did, and I'm giving them credit, but I think they did that because Jim Harbaugh subtly changed the way he went about business. And Terry, did you think that you would see the day on his own 34-yard line, very first possession of the game, at Wisconsin, in a road game, 4th and 1, he did what I wanted Dan Campbell to do. And you go in and you bust them in the mouth and you say, look, you guys are trash.
Here's what I thought I would never see. I never thought I'd see Michigan players jumping up and down, waving towels, saying jump, 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 jump around. That's Michigan football. I thought I would never see that, but that's a sign that it's a team that's looser than it's been in the past. And now I got a big question for you now, my
absolutely.
brother. Michigan went into Wisconsin and beat them.
Yes, they did.
Now, do you view this as, you know what, Michigan might be pretty good, or is Wisconsin's 1-3 and sucks?
No, I think I'm going to take the tack that Michigan fans took when Michigan State beat Miami. Well, Wisconsin's terrible. And this isn't my words. This is Michigan fans' words.
Okay, but
because I think they're the exact same thing. I would even venture and say that Wisconsin's. Terry, did you watch that game? Did you see
that game?
Did you see what Wisconsin was putting out there?
As of last Monday, you said if Michigan goes in and pounds Wisconsin, I'm going to give them some love, and you still refuse to do it.
No, I'm not. I'm giving them love. I'm telling you, Jim Harbaugh may have turned a corner in the way that he may have gotten into the late 1990s. With going forward on 4th and 1.
But see, that's not my question. Did Michigan show you something by beating Wisconsin in Wisconsin? Or are you just going to say Wisconsin's 1-3, so that victory doesn't count?
I think both things can be true, Terry. I do. They did show me something. I mean, their defense obviously was good.
Which is it?
I think I would lean towards Wisconsin's awful with the 14 points per game they score against teams that aren't Eastern Michigan, man. Like, that's what it is. That's data. That's not what I think. That's what I know.
It's data, but you changed your mind in a week.
I did because I got more data. And the data is Wisconsin is awful.
They were awful last Monday.
Well, I couldn't decide. I didn't know how bad Notre Dame was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So the Notre Dame loss switched you around.
It did. It did. And Doug Fungus says in our chat thread, we'll see come Nebraska. Nebraska lost to Illinois. Like there is a deficit of good teams in college football.
So for you to say Michigan is legit, they've got to beat Ohio State. Is that what it's down to now?
Penn State and Ohio State, yeah.
Okay.
Penn State and Ohio State. They go in and beat Penn State, yeah. They showed me a little bit here against Wisconsin. Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh showed me more than anybody. Because
are you going to give them any love if they beat Michigan State? Does that not count either?
No, if they go on the road and win that holy war, because that's going to be a holy, especially if they're both undefeated.
That's what I was going to ask you both, though. If you guys had to make a prediction right now, do you see both Michigan and Michigan State being undefeated by the time they meet on October 30th? Terry?
I do. I think Michigan State, I think they both have tough tasks because here's the thing. We as promoters of the sport don't respect Rutgers or Nebraska, although Rutgers and Nebraska have overachieved this year. Rutgers and Nebraska might be pretty good. But, once again, if Michigan or Michigan State wins those games, the other side is going to say, they suck.
Chuck Brewer says Miami lost again. Oh, and Western Michigan still only has one loss. Yeah, that Western Michigan team that had Sky Morrigan, who caught 11 balls for them in their win this weekend, who got hurt in the first quarter when it was 10-7, when Michigan and Western, when it was a 10-7 game. Yeah, things change, man. They did. Like that again, that's factual. That did happen. So, but we're going to the glorious thing is, Chuck, we're going to find out. We're going to find out because they're going to play somebody eventually. They are. They're going to play somebody, a non-MAC team, a decent, Power 5 team. They're going to do that eventually. A Power 5 team that hasn't lost to a non-division, non-FBS team. Like, we're going to see all that stuff. But I do give Harbaugh credit. That's the biggest takeaway I have.
Because he went for it on 4th and 1.
Repeatedly.
But
on the road.
You're not giving him credit for retooling this program and making it better.
Well, Terry, what if they do that? What if they lose to Penn State? What if they lose to Ohio State? Then what's different?
See, this is my problem with college football. College football we love, but college football
is a 2-game season.
It's a 2 or 3 game season. Right. So we already know after 4 games that the Lions are bad. Michigan and Michigan State, after 5 games, which they won all of them, we're still saying, well, we don't know what we've got. It's there's just a few teams. It's a 3-game season.
Yeah, Antonio Delgado says, I'll give Michigan credit. They were able to shift to the passing game when the run got shut down in some capacity. I think that was a bigger question for me. And that's fair, Antonio. I think that's a very, very good point. MPWMU says, Neal will find any excuse to crap on Michigan. Well, MPWMU, you're a Western fan. I'm trying to hype Western up here, man. Sky Moore's a good player, bro. Like, I think Western, if they had their full complement of people, could have been more of a factor in that football game. I'm trying to hype you guys up, man. Like, that's what it is. Terry's exactly right, though. And that reinforces my point. And I was taking the really long way, like weeks long, of getting to that. It's a 3-game season for Michigan. I would say it's a 3-game season for their fans. It's a 2-game season for the program. Because, again, I go back to it, Terry. If you do not win your side of the Big Ten, if yet again you do not go play in a Big Ten championship game, yet again if you don't win the Big Ten what's different about it?
There's nothing different.
What, you're second in the division instead of 3rd or 5th or whatever? Nothing's different. This story wasn't going to be told again this week, and it won't be told next week, and it'll start to be told when they get to Michigan State. And it's a 3-game season, Terry. As long as there's no stumbles. It's Michigan State, it's Penn State, and it's Ohio State. That's it.
So when do we find out about Michigan State against Michigan?
I think for Michigan State it's different because something still doesn't smell right with these. They got these 2 road games coming up, and I'll tell you what, I'll be surprised if they win both of these games. I'll be mildly surprised if they go into Rutgers and win and go into Indiana and win. I will. I'll be mildly surprised.
I think the game they'll get is Indiana. Rutgers, a little concerned about.
Yeah, and that's, again, I think when these two teams play, when Michigan State plays Michigan, and we've seen this act before, Michigan should win that football game. They're vastly more talented, but will they be able to rise to the level of toughness that Michigan State has? And that's been the question for the last decade plus, Terry.
Yeah, sure, but Michigan State special teams are very scary.
They are, and they can change a game, but are they able to make those plays? You can't count on that every single week.
No,
you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Michigan State, for whatever reason, first play of the game, the first time they touch the ball, they punish you. So you got to keep them out the end zone on their first offensive play, the first time you punt it to them, or else they will hurt you, and then now you got to fight the rest of the way. Yeah. Michigan State needs a lead, and that's what they've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely they do. Justin says in our chat thread, it's Indy or fail. Enough is enough. Neal is right. And that's, again, because you guys know this. I go back to it where you did the shows, Terry. I did the shows. I was competing against you guys. I have a feeling the phone calls were the same. The day he was hired, it's national championship time.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't when he was going to win the Big Ten. It was how many titles he's going to win. He's going to go and win 2 national championships.
Yeah. Nick Saban's on notice. That was my thing.
Right.
I was told.
And then, hey, Sparty, your fun is over. That's what I kept hearing. And you know what? Their fun isn't over, and Michigan has not won a title of any kind. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. And lunch isn't over. As a matter of fact, it's just starting. So what you should do, go to paparomanospizza.com. Look at that on your screen for those of you watching on YouTube right now. That deep dish with the pepperoni and the sausage. Come on, guys. Make the smart call. Papa Romano's Pizza, the highest quality ingredients, the freshest toppings. You guys know the drill on that. Chicken wings, subs, salads, that pizza you see on the screen as well. Do it. Be a hero. Get it for the office. Go to paparomanospizza.com right now. Get that lunch taken care of and get your week off to a good start. Papa Romano's Pizza.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
On and popping here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal. Ruhl, T. Foss, Terry Foster in the house for Darren McCarty and Joik Bell. They will be back tomorrow. But, yeah, man, I mean, just kind of wrapping up this Michigan discussion, and it was a nice win, and it's something they hadn't done in a long time, 20 years since they went in there and won. I like how Jim Harbaugh coached that football game. I like the aggression that he came out with. I like how he just continually went for those manageable fourth downs. That's what it's supposed to look like when you go for it on 4th and 1. They just put it up in there and said, "Yay, you're not going to stop us." And Wisconsin, this is a bad Wisconsin team, man.
Do you like Michigan as a football team?
I like the way that they are able to run the football. The defense certainly, and Hutchinson is a very, very good player, man. Very, very good player. He's going to make a lot of money playing football. We can
they
put it
try
like
to do stuff to him to get him off his game, and it's not working.
Yeah, so I do like what they're doing, especially from a schematical point of view on their defense, because the things they do with Hutch, it's not the same look with him every single time. It's not just, hey, go get to the football, or hey, go get to the quarterback. They do some different things, so I like that. The flea flicker was a nice touch. I'm sure Bo wouldn't have liked that call.
Oh, hell no.
No. Bo wouldn't have liked that call at all. But he probably wouldn't have liked going for it on 4th and 1 at your own 34, the first possession of the game.
No way
he
would do that. And he wouldn't let Michigan players jump around. Whee! Whee! He said, stop that.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, for me, that's where it is. And Chuck, I'll agree with you on this. Chuck said in our chat thread, he says Michigan has a team identity. That's something that the Lions can't say, and that is true, Terry.
Bam, that is true.
They do have an identity, and they're going to do what they do. They are, and that's where I would say for Michigan, they do have something going in that respect, that they have a calling card of what they're going to do.
I think both college teams do. I think Michigan and Michigan State have a calling card or an identity. The Detroit Lions do not. Or if they do have one, I haven't figured it out.
Right.
Have you? No.
No.
I already asked you that question.
No. Moving on.
Right. Next.
TP would say, how is Michigan vastly more talented? And I would definitely say that Hutchinson is a player that Michigan State does not have.
That is true.
In any form or fashion. There is no Hutchinson rolling around on Michigan State.
But Michigan State's got some athletes. I mean, they got Walker is I think he's the best he'll be the best running back out there. Jaden.
Well, that's not what I was told though, Terry. I got killed.
Oh, okay.
Because I said that Walker should have been in the Heisman discussion, and Michigan fans kill me. They're like, what about Corum? What about Corum? Why don't you have him in there? It's the same stuff. They played the same schedule.
You have to understand that everything at Michigan is better than it is at Michigan State. Their athletes are better. Their running backs are better. Their coaches are better. Their stadium is better. Their fans are better. That's just the way it is every year. Even, once again, I say, even when State was kicking Michigan's ass every year, State was the underdog in those games.
Right.
It's just a perception that if it's go blue, it's the best. And plus, we live in more of a Michigan area than we do a Michigan State area.
Right.
That's the way it's going to be.
The media that we read, where did they all go to school? Again, I know that's me being a quote-unquote hater or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, Terry, where did most of them go to school?
They should have gone to Central Michigan. But they probably went to Michigan.
Yeah. Yes, they did. And that's fine. Okay, I understand that. But they do get treated differently in the media than Michigan State does.
It does.
And you can confirm. You were in that field, man. You know.
I was always trying to find the truth. But some guys, I think, reporters who cover colleges, a lot of times are so afraid of not getting access, not getting interviews,
and that has changed.
They might in the past, write more favorable things.
Yeah, and that certainly has changed.
Buy the Kool-Aid or sip the Kool-Aid a little more than people who cover professional sports.
Yeah, absolutely. But Michigan State, they did get the win over Western Kentucky, and they were up 42-16. And I know the score looks a little bit different, but that was something that we talked about last weekend when we were broadcasting live from Big Boy. Western Kentucky will sling the ball all over the field, and they certainly did. And Bailey Zapp got his numbers. He ended up throwing for 488 yards and 3 touchdowns. But that's the college football that I like, though, Terry. I like the spread it out, wing it all over the field, throw it 70 times. I enjoy that. I know that's anti to what everybody here enjoys, but I do like that. That's entertaining to me. I know a lot of people were, because if you want to nitpick, people will be critical of Michigan State's pass defense. I put zero stock in that whatsoever. You have a team that's going to throw the ball 70 times, but as Terry was talking about, for those of you watching on YouTube right now, the punt return really, really changed everything for Michigan State, because as you said, Terry, when this Michigan State team gets a lead, they can do the boa constrictor act on you,
right,
and choke you out.
And I made the mistake of watching the Big Ten Network, and they had DiNardo on there, and he said to me something that I thought was very asinine. At the beginning of the third quarter, they should take out Walker. They should take out their star players. No. What you needed a long, sustained drive, because Western Kentucky, if you give them the ball 4 times in the third quarter, they might score on 3 of them, and then you're in a game. What Michigan State needed was a sustained drive, which they got. They ran out clock and then scored, and the game was done when you started the fourth quarter. Western Kentucky can still sling it around and have all kinds of good time, but the bottom line, they weren't going to win that game.
They were never a threat.
But if you took your starters, offensive starters out, you had like a short drive, well, Western Kentucky could get that ball like 3 or 4 times in the third quarter. They could be in that game, and all of a sudden you're sweating.
Right.
So I thought that was asinine advice, and I'm glad that Tucker did not follow it.
Yeah, I don't think he had his ear. Chuck says on our YouTube chat thread, I agree, and Chuck's a Michigan fan too, and he's a pretty rational dude. It sounds like from the interactions we've had. He said, I agree. Michigan State has always gotten the short stick, and they have. But Terry, I would say that served them, and I really do hope that Michigan State is able to navigate these waters next couple weeks, because I do want to see it, because I want to see. Again, you're going to be talking about a religious war on October 30th here, and I'm here for it, man. That is going to be so much fun. Even if Michigan State loses a game, still, I think that game is going to be a lot of fun.
It could be a war, and it could be one of the quickest games in history, because these dudes are going to just pound it out and keep that clock moving.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get early dinner reservations that night,
Who
Terry.
the hell knows what the weather's going to be like?
That's
going to be intriguing too.
It could be 40 and it could be 70, Terry.
Right.
It could be either one. But no, I am.
If Harbaugh doesn't win that game against State, I think there's going to be another blemish on him. Here's a guy, Mel Tucker, just rolls into town, rolls in late the next year,
beats
his ass twice, and he's been there longer.
Yeah, because Michigan will be a favorite in that game.
Oh, absolutely. So it would behoove Harbaugh to win that game.
Yes, it certainly would. It certainly would. But again, that's where it goes back to, we can have these discussions now, and they're cool and everything, and it's fun to talk with the fans. But it is now, it has been, and it will be a 3-game season for Michigan unless they do well. Then they'll add a 4th game to that. And if they do well on that, we'll add a 5th game to that in terms of the Big Ten championship, the college football playoff, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you think Michigan or Michigan State or neither have a shot to win the Big Ten title?
No, because Ohio State's still here. And for those of you who haven't noticed, they're putting it together a little bit.
Yeah,
they're putting it together. I'll just leave it at that.
They pulled the Alabama. Alabama had the scare against Florida. Then they come back and who they beat the crap out of this week?
Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, Ole Miss. Ole Miss unbeaten, and Ole Miss can score 100 points on you if you're not careful, and Lane Kiffin and all this crap.
Did you see the pregame interview where he's on the field and he's like, "Get your popcorn ready"?
Yeah.
And then they were down 42-7.
Right.
It hurts me because I love Lane Kiffin. Mm-hmm. He's one of my favorite coaches because of stuff like that. Like, he'll say stuff. Again, I go back to it. I want to be entertained, Terry. That's right, and that's entertaining to me. Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes you run the risk when you come out there and say, "Get your popcorn ready." You can't be down 42-7 by the time I turn the television on.
The popcorn kernels didn't even pop.
No, it was bad. It was bad. Lavington said, Neal, they put it together against Akron and Rutgers. Easy, big fella, LOL. Well, I mean, that Rutgers team looked all right when they came through here.
They did.
Did they not?
Could have won. Had a shot to win. Didn't. And then Ohio State smacked him. So Ohio State did the same thing Alabama did. Okay, people were saying that we're vulnerable. We'll show you we're not. Rutgers thinks they're pretty good.
We don't think so.
Them.
Yeah, we don't think so. And Chuck says, I love Neal, but don't like when he talks about Michigan because he hates Michigan so much. What did Michigan do to him? And again, like, it's not hate. I got to keep qualifying this, Terry.
There might be a little hate going on there.
No, Terry, I got to keep. I'm just going by what I was told, man. This is what I was told by the fans.
You know what? You don't hate Michigan. You have a vendetta against Michigan fans because they talk too much trash.
No, I don't. I don't have a vendetta against them. They can say what they want. This is America, Jack. If you don't love it, you can get the hell out, Terry, right?
That is true. I'm just saying.
No, but I'm just going by what I was told. And just the way I have a problem with the way that they act from time to time, yeah. And I don't have a dog in the fight like the Michigan State stuff. I don't. I just go by what the interactions are.
So you think they're jerks?
I don't think they're jerks. They're good people, like the Michigan fans that I talk to in here.
There's good people on both sides, huh? All right.
They're fine people on both sides, Terry.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
it's just I'm going by what I was told, man. And we haven't seen it for 7 years. It's just this whole leaders and best, and I guess the area. I mean, the little bit of fan arrogance that there is that to it. I think a Michigan fan would admit that. I won't call them asses. They're
asses.
arrogant.
Just say it. Don't be afraid.
But based on what? That's my whole thing. Like, guys, you say me, why do you hate Michigan? Why do you love them so much? Like, based on what? For real, what are the reasons? Give them to me.
They did win a national championship in '97.
Yeah, half of one.
They had. They should have.
Then they won.
Then they should have been the whole thing.
But then they won a whole bunch of national titles when the helmets were made of leather and there were no face masks and there were no scholarships.
They won this 10-year war with Bo and Woody.
Did they? Because I know Woody won national titles. How many did Bo win?
1-0.
Oh, did he?
But it was all about winning the Big Ten and playing the Rose Bowl.
Oh, that's right. How did Bo do when he was in the Rose Bowl? He was 2-8. That's right. I'm not making that up, guys. That's not hate speak. You can go to Google yourself and look it up. I'm not hating anything. That's what it is. I'm sorry, Art.
I just think that maybe we could relax and enjoy levels, and that's what we want you to do. So starting right now, you can get 10% off your order just by mentioning Woodward Sports. 10% off your order just like that. It's super easy. So all you have to do is check out Levels and Centerline. Whether you're in the store or on the app, make sure that you mention Woodward Sports. Everything from T Grizzly strains to D-Max Max 69 strain to edibles and so much more. All on sale, all right now. Download the Enjoy Levels app today and start saving. We got more Big D energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. T-Foss, Terry Foster in the house for Darren McCarty and Joik Bell. They'll be back tomorrow. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy you all are with us. Appreciate all the interaction, all the chat messages, the tweets, everything like that. Thank you guys for continuing to watch and listen however you're consuming the show. It's certainly available on radio as well. 93.5 The Roar, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 WCSX HD2 as well. Continue to get involved, everyone. That's why we're here, man. We're just a couple of dudes sitting up here talking about sports, man. It is certainly a very good time. But this
we're here for you.
We're here for you. I mean, you guys make it all go. There is no doubt about it. But in the YouTube chat thread and all the different outlets, people are getting fired up here. Khalil says 100% Michigan State gets the short end of the stick. The history of the Michigan program way surpasses what Michigan State has done. But Khalil, I would say have they? Because remember in the 60s, they were winning national titles at Michigan State.
But most of our people were not alive in the 60s.
So then I would say the half of the one Michigan got in 97, all of the ones before that were in the 40s and when they beat Princeton and Yale. Like, that's what it is, Terry.
No, that's true, but I'm just saying the people love their program. All right, tell you what. All these people here love the Detroit Lions, right?
They do.
What are they giving these people? I'm waiting.
Hey, they won NFL championships in the 50s, Terry. They ripped off like 3 out of 4 or whatever it was.
Okay.
Beat Jim Brown.
I've only met one guy who was alive for those who actually witnessed those games.
Yeah, I think my dad was like 5.
Okay. They've given you nothing. They gave you Barry Sanders and maybe Calvin Johnson. What else? But I still run into people. I love my Lions. They're going to get them next year. You too negative. Don't.
But if you tell me, Fish, you're a youngster.
Fish.
What have they given you?
They're giving me everything. They give me a heart and a soul.
No. What have they given you?
A heart and a soul. And they're going to go 10-7. They're going to lose their next 3, and then up the top they go 10-7. I'm just saying.
That's booze talking. This young man is drinking already. this
when
morning.
it happens, then I don't know if you're allowed to celebrate.
Fish, what do you?
We'll let you celebrate though.
Fish, what do you do when it doesn't happen, buddy?
Nothing, because it will happen.
Okay. That's the universe. Put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
What year were you born, Fish?
2000. Triple zeros.
Have you seen the Lions win a playoff game?
Triple zeros.
Huh?
Triple zeros. Zippo. Nothing.
Zero. Okay.
Yes.
Have you seen the Lions compete for an NFL championship, or as they call it, Super Bowl?
It's just
Zippo.
Zippo. Have you seen the Lions compete for a division title?
Zippo.
All right, but you still love them.
Yeah.
more-
That's because I'm born here. I don't know what else to say.
Brother, one more time. What have they given you?
Heart and soul.
No, they're giving you heartache.
yeah, and a broken soul.
Well, then they're doing something right for me because I've got a big heart and a
All right.
good soul.
Here's what you should do. Go to any other city
Okay.
that has an NFL team.
The Browns, Cleveland.
Tell them that you love the Detroit Lions. You know what
Okay.
they're going to do?
They laugh
Punch
at
me?
you.
They will laugh, in your face.
Oh, I was hoping they'd punch
I think
me.
there's
but
something
that's-
wrong with you.
Well, there is. Not,
He
you're not
admits it.
wrong.
Boop.
No, you're right. There is. But in this discussion here, about the Michigan stuff, and look, it usually turns into this. Juice's Ghost says all the U of M hate is generated from the arrogance of the old days. We get it. Well, the arrogance of the old days was justified because they won back then. I don't get the arrogance now. That's what I don't understand. Lavington says, yeah, for sure, the arrogance has definitely quieted down over the years towards the football program, at least around my circles. I will say that, Lavington. I do agree with that. And I have a lot of Michigan fan friends that are reasonable about it, that are frustrated and everything like that. I certainly get that. Rack says, in Neal's defense, as a Michigan fan, it's embarrassing all the talk and hoopla by some, but not all fans. And let's not even go into the Harbaugh shenanigans his first few years. And again, those are fair points.
Jim Harbaugh received the longest honeymoon of any coach in state of Michigan history, because when he came here, this was the perfect hire. This was the guy that was going to make Urban Meyer look silly. This is the guy that Nick Saban was going to be afraid of. And this guy is going to win multiple Big Ten titles like his boy Bo. Hasn't happened.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
So now what?
But I just don't get that whole, leaders and best, and you know what I'm saying? When you got a half a national title since the 40s.
It should have been a whole title.
Okay.
Because Nebraska lost the football game that year. They had a fifth down
They
situation,
did have a fifth down.
and they gave them the extra down, and they won the game against Missouri.
But Terry, I heard you talk to people about this before. I heard you in your prior radio days where bookmakers in Las Vegas said Nebraska would have been a betting favorite in that football game.
And I disagree with them. Nebraska lost a game that year.
But I'm saying, though, they would have been a betting
Does
favorite.
it matter
No,
what
it doesn't.
Vegas says?
No, it doesn't.
They were both unbeaten.
But that benefits my argument, so I use that point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the first person in the world to do that,
Nebraska
Terry.
is using that old stupid. It wasn't the wishbone, but it was some power eye. At least Michigan has some diversity.
Right.
Michigan had Charles Woodson, man.
They did. One of the greatest college football players of all time.
Yes.
I think he gets short. And I know he won a Heisman and stuff like that. I had never seen, even Deion at Florida. I was a little kid when Deion was playing at Florida State, but I told you I'm a college football geek.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a lot even back then. I don't remember it being this way. But Charles Woodson, the way he changed a football game without even being involved, just his presence, how it chopped the football field in half if for your passing attack. He was feared, Terry.
He was. And
Feared.
Charles Woodson is the biggest cornerback I've ever seen. He looked like he was more like a wide receiver or a smaller linebacker than a cornerback. But he was huge, and he could thump you too.
Yeah, that interception. I was at the game, the game at Michigan State where he had that one-handed interception.
Oh yeah.
It's the greatest play I've ever seen in my life live. The greatest play I've ever seen, bar none. Been in a lot of games in my life. The greatest play I've ever. He was incredible, man. He was incredible. And he beat Peyton Manning. I love that he beat Peyton Manning out for the Heisman, too. That was great.
Yeah, and I had to explain to Peyton Manning his rookie year why I didn't vote for him.
I do love that story. I do love that story. But no, again, for me, I've given you the reasons why. I certainly have. And I love that Woodson beat Manning out for the Heisman because Manning in the playoffs during the course of his NFL career is very Bo Schembechler-like.
Oh, yeah.
He's a 500
Steve
quarterback.
Spurrier used to say about Manning in Tennessee, you can't spell Citrus Bowl without UT.
Because that's what it is. Inkster2LA says, I think Neal just doesn't like Harbaugh. I think he's overrated. I do think that he's overrated. Like, people want to put him on par with the Sabans and even the Bobby Bowdens and the Spurriers and all. He's nowhere near that level.
No.
Nowhere near. I mean, it's not even in the debate. But again, maybe I'm just being a hater. I don't know, T. Fossey.
Well,
am I being a hater or no?
I think you do not like the University of Michigan. You got something in your craw against them.
No, great. Terry, I hope my children go to school there.
That doesn't mean you like them.
I do.
It's a good school.
It's a great school.
You either don't like the fan base or you don't like the athletic. There's something.
No, I'm a proponent of math. I'm a proponent of fact. And when things are not based on that, it bothers me. That's
I know,
what
but
my problem
all I know
is.
is a week ago you said if they beat Wisconsin, you'll say, you know what? That's an accomplishment.
Because
now today you're saying it's not.
No. See, you're twisting that around, Terry. I said that Jim Harbaugh, in my mind, took a step forward. Again, both things can be true. And I did. This Wisconsin team is a recently historically bad Wisconsin team versus what they have been. And things since Brett Bielema left, man.
All right. Do you know what you just did? You just said my date that I brought in that I think is a cutie pie. You just basically said, oh, she's got a nice personality.
But there's other better looking chicks in here right into the spot we came in right now.
Well, is she cute? You know what? The girl can talk really well.
Yeah. She's so wholesome.
But is she cute? Yeah, I think she's clean. She doesn't smell bad.
We like the same drink. That's good.
She's not a heifer.
Right, but Terry, data changes.
Yeah. What changed from last Monday to this Monday?
That I sat down and watched Wisconsin for an entire game. That I had my suspicions about what it was before, but you can't. And here's where I made the mistake, Terry. The Wiley Radio sports talk veteran would have laid the foundation for this on Monday, and I didn't do that. I didn't say, well, I have some questions about Wisconsin, and then they would say, oh, Neal, you're just saying that, so you're laying the groundwork. So then that way I could have came in here Monday and said, well, see, I told you so, Terry. Maybe I should do that next game.
Maybe. So what do you think of my lady, Neal? Oh, she doesn't have a beard. I'm just saying.
Fair. Hey, that's fair, but the data changes, Terry. Now, I would say your story would be more accurate if we walked into the bar or whatever, and then the data changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look around and the data changed. But I'm a happily married man, Terry.
But the data did not change.
Yeah, the Wisconsin data certainly changed. Terry, come on.
From Monday to Monday.
Do you think that Wisconsin? Where do you think that Wisconsin team's going to end up? You think they're going to go to a bowl?
No. Well, they try to get everybody in the bowl. It's Wisconsin. All they need, if they can find their six, if they play in the Western Division, they'll probably get a bowl. To me, a bowl doesn't mean anything.
No, I know, but that's like the baseline of what we use. They get into the pickle bowl. I know I was just perusing their schedule real quick to see they got Army coming in.
Hey Neal, what do you think of my woman? Oh, she's got 2 breasts. I was like, all right.
Let's see, they got Army coming in. They got Illinois. They got Purdue. They got Northwestern. They got Rutgers. They got Minnesota. Yeah, they'll make it to a bowl. Well, but they only got 1 win though, so I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
They'll get into a bowl. It might be the Pickle Bowl or something like that, but they'll get into a bowl.
It might be.
A bowl isn't necessarily on if you're good. It's if you get 6 wins and if you have a name, which Wisconsin has, and do their fans travel? Yes, they do. So they'll get into a bowl.
We'll take
They
you.
could get in at 5-7.
Listen, if you're thinking about a bowl, maybe you want to get a bowl haircut. You could get that done at Lady Jane's if that's what you're into. You know,
That's the best segue we've ever had.
Thank
here.
you. I
That's the best
appreciate
segue
that.
we've had.
Let's be honest. We like the simple stuff, including bowl cuts. They're easy to do. If that's what you're into, come to Lady Jane's. Like football 5 days a week, we like things uncomplicated. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you're a handsome, clean-looking lad. So check them out. Get it to Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8. 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. We got more from Terry and Neal right here. Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. T. Foss, Terry Foster in the house, pinch hitting for Joik Bell and Darren McCarty. They will be back in effect coming up tomorrow. But, we're talking football, obviously, here on a Monday. The reaction, I did want to get into the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick stuff. And T. Foss, I do have to say, and real quickly, I was perusing the Big Ten Bowl tie-ins to see where Wisconsin could be, if they do get to that 6 wins. Quick Lane Bowl here against a MAC team.
Okay.
A rematch against Eastern, Wisconsin v. Eastern. The Duke's Mayo Bowl against a Pac-12 team.
That sounds exciting.
Duke's Mayo Bowl, huh? Guaranteed Rate Bowl?
You know what? I stopped being a follower of bowls many years ago.
I still do like them, Terry.
Step above the Pro Bowl, which I can't stand.
Terry, I watch them all, man. I do because I'm a dork. And one of my favorite ones is the Hawaii Bowl when it's on Christmas Eve, because you get the kids to bed and I'm putting together 1,000 toys. And Art probably shares this sentiment. But I flip on the Hawaii Bowl. I grab a chocolate stout beer and I start putting those toys together on Christmas Eve. And it's a 4-hour process. I'm lucky now they're older. It's all text-based stuff now.
Yeah.
But Art, Christmas Eve is nothing nice when your kids are young, man.
I hate it, Christmas Eve.
I can't stand it because now all the toys, they're zip tied together, they're locked together. It's not just the simple hey, you can pull it apart. It's you have to get a chainsaw to open it.
Forget about putting the stuff together. I can't get the stuff out the box.
Right.
Okay, there's a reason why they do that. They do that
I
so
know
that
theft protection, but still.
Yeah, so that when they're going down the conveyor belts and the workers are just tossing them off into the truck, it doesn't break.
Protection thing.
Fish, what was that again?
Please do that again.
Whoa. Oh, you almost hit me. Okay.
Man, you should be working at Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're
You're
here.
hired. Jeff Bezos. I know a guy right there.
My goodness.
Well, I wish they had that Amazon warehouse in Detroit. I think it's in Tennessee they chose instead of
They
Detroit.
have an Amazon warehouse where?
In Dearborn.
There's one bigger than that.
Really?
In a very historical
Fenton?
spot.
Not in Fenton. No.
No, where the Pontiac Silverdome used to be.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, that is correct.
Those things, you know what's funny about those things? They pop up overnight.
Oh, yeah.
Overnight. And you're talking about that one where the Silverdome used to be. It's about the size of the Silverdome. I mean,
it is.
It's huge. There was one.
We drove by it the other day. I said, this is as big as the Silverdome.
Yeah. I'm an East Sider, and they had one pop up at 23 Mile by Mound out there. I mean, overnight it was there, and it's massive. The day's coming, folks. You're going to order your stuff on Amazon, and it's going to come via a drone in 20 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They're gonna knock on the door, and a drone's gonna be hanging in the air.
Aren't they already doing that in California? It's readily available, within an hour.
Sir.
A drone, literally. It's kind of creepy.
So they are doing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already started.
Yeah, they're slowly working to the
get with the
Midwest,
times,
the
young
East,
man.
the South.
They're just not doing it here.
Now, if only they could take care of their workers better. Just saying. I had to throw that out there.
No, I heard
there are horror stories.
No one lasts
but when
2
the
years
workers-
at Amazon.
No, and the thing is there's if you go to Reddit, all you have to do is put working at Amazon, and there's no breaks. We complain about the air conditioning here. We've got it made compared to them. It's
Yeah,
rough,
but wait, it doesn't help when the workers are tossing boxes 60 feet into a truck.
I want to work for UWM.
Oh.
For the little mortgage, Matt Ishbia.
BU here.
Huh?
That's what they say, right? BU. You're gonna be TV. You're gonna wear the hat when you're showing up to the office.
Yeah. If I get an office, I will. But if I have to work, for real, then I'm not wearing the hat.
Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers put in some work yesterday. It certainly wasn't pretty, but they did come out with the win over New England. And Terry, for me, I came clean yesterday on the Lions pregame show. We were down at O'Toole's in downtown Royal Oak. Great time yesterday, too, with the folks from WRIF on our YouTube channel right now. We're playing the field goal that was missed by Nick Folk as it hit off the upright. And Tom Brady somehow, because that deal he has with the devil, escaped with the win. But, Terry, I do have to admit, I feel dirty because I was so into it. And the hype machine, I don't want to say the hype machine grabbed me.
Well, it should have.
But I was very much into it. Even when I saw it on social media, I was like, that's a little too... The Adele video that they played, the Hello from the Other Side, I was like, that's corny. And then when they played it during the game, I was like, that's actually cool.
It is. You should not feel dirty. That was a big midseason game.
It was. And the storylines carried it. And as I said on the Lions pregame show yesterday, Terry, Patriots plus the 7. Patriots plus the 7, Art.
Though, and I do respect the fans, the Patriots fans, because they obviously realized what Brady did for them. And that's great. And they were chanting his name at the beginning and chanting. But once the game started, it was boos, and I loved it. It was like a switch went off, and it's like, all right, time to play. I love that.
I could not boo him if I were a Patriots fan.
I don't think I could either.
Because it wasn't like he demanded to leave. He didn't embarrass the organization. It wasn't like, get me the hell out of here. It was like, I think New England was tired of him.
You didn't like that, though? You didn't like that there was like a competitiveness, that they weren't just like, like with me.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said would not boo the man.
You wouldn't boo him?
No. Because he didn't do anything wrong.
Now, see, with me, I feel like it's both sides, because we can feel similar to the Lions-Stafford situation. And as the weeks go on, I'm becoming the biggest Stafford fan ever, because there's at least success on that side. But with the Patriots and the Bucs, once the game starts, when they face each other, when the Lions face the Rams, I'm Team Lions.
I think Lion fans have I think it would be easier for them to boo Stafford than for New England fans to boo Brady.
Well, yeah, because
Stafford said, peace out, I'm out.
Well, yeah, but also Brady actually did something for their franchise. Stafford didn't really do anything for the Lions.
Brady didn't say, I want it out. The Patriots said, get your ass out of here.
Right. Yeah,
to where Stafford did want out.
Yeah.
That's what it was, people.
Oh, yeah.
I know that we're on the, again, the whole Shawshank Redemption, Andy Dufresne climbing through the sewer and coming out and putting his hands up in the rain.
Who would want to be here?
I know that's the narrative. But he wanted out, man.
Yeah. And
we're all still here.
I'm surprised that he stayed this long, honestly. I would have wanted out years ago.
Just like Grant Hill. Grant Hill wanted out. I know everybody celebrates him and stuff like that, but he wanted out.
He did.
And then they went and got Ben Wallace for him and won an NBA title.
Yes.
So that's the way that shook out.
Jared Goff is going to bring a Super Bowl too.
That's right, Fish. Right. Jared Goff's bringing us a Super Bowl, buddy.
He's bringing us not one, not two, not three, several.
Okay, LeBron, stop it.
When you look at it too, with the Cardinals winning, the Lions draft pick improved by 9 slots yesterday.
Oh God, it just
Here we go back to the number 1 pick again. You know who's a dumbass? I am. I actually thought the Lions were going to beat the Bears.
So did I. I think honestly, most of Michigan did. If you didn't, I
thought they were going to win.
Everybody on Friday live from Big Boy was like, you know what? I think they're going to make it happen, and it's just disappointment once again. If there was any,
but it's not disappointment.
I
know we're going back
because
to
I'm
this
an
again.
idiot and I'm a stupid believer. But this was the one game I had on to where I was like, they're going to win. Nope.
Well, the Bears have to come to the ferocious Ford Field. So
yes,
maybe
they
that's
do.
gonna get 'em.
Yesterday was a great day. There are only 2 teams in the NFL that are winless now. The Jaguars and your Detroit Lions. The Rams lost. They slipped all the way. Lions will have the 23rd overall pick if the give me the You only have to wait around to pick number 23 now. If the draft were today, that's what it would be. You would have number 2 and number 23. It was a good day, everybody.
Why be greedy? That's good enough right there. 2 and 23.
Michigan fans, Aiden Hutchinson, please, with the draft pick. So that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
I enjoy his game. I think he is a good player. What do you got, Fish?
Okay, so we went 0-16 2008. Okay, the Browns went 0-16 in 2017, I believe. They had a parade. We're letting Cleveland beat us. So if we go 0-17 this year, 0-16, I guess they went.
What's rightfully ours?
I don't know if they had a parade. We need to have a parade if we go 0-17. Can we set up? No, you're not interested, Terry.
I am never going to a Lions parade.
Why?
How dare you?
Why 0-17 parade, not a winning parade? 0-17
I
parade.
don't celebrate patheticness.
The Browns did, and look where it got them.
That's them.
Look
I'm
where
talking
it got
about
them.
me. Why do I have to do what every other people do?
They beat the Steelers, and they should have beat the Chiefs. Got them somewhere.
You guys are sick around.
It obviously worked for the Browns.
Fish, here in our YouTube chat thread, Mr. 715 says, I love that draft sound now. I wish you had played at the beginning of every segment.
Look at how happy he is, too. He loves playing that.
And Neal, I love hearing it.
Neal loves it.
I do. Oh my God, I love hearing it.
But here's the thing. I mean, truth be told, like, we can all say in this room that we fully expected the Lions to win yesterday. No, there was no doubt. Like, I had no doubt. And then first 2 touchdowns.
I had doubt. I did think they were going to win.
I'm a fool. I should have listened to Terry a year ago when I started here. I'm an idiot.
Well,
you're right, Terry. I'm an idiot.
Hey, both things can be true.
No, I feel bad because I feel like the uncle that didn't hammer it in your head hard enough that this franchise is awful.
Well, you didn't do it hard enough because now I'm getting a stupid tattoo to prove my loyalty and a bad bet between
Don't
myself.
do it.
I don't know
I'm doing
whose
it
fault that
October
is.
19th. It's happening. I'm either taking the day off of work and mixing in, or I'm doing it here. But it's happening.
Why would you
October
ruin your
19th.
life like that? You know, once you put a Lions tattoo on there, you can't get any more women.
Well, listen, I don't need any more women. I don't need any more kids.
No, that's a Tuesday.
If it's my if a tattoo is my vasectomy, I'll take it. Yeah,
Are you aware
Your
October
kids will
19th is a
abandon
Tuesday?
you.
Well,
And you'll never be able to get another job again.
well, I
Don't
mean, that's not
do
much
it.
from what I'm doing now. You know.
Are you aware October 19th is a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Just okay. Well, I didn't know if you knew.
I already have the date down. I'm either gonna VMix in or I'm gonna do it there. You know, you
Neal,
guys
you
want.
need to step in and stop this.
You can't.
Hey,
So you're not going to
he's
be on
his
the
own
show
man.
Tuesday? Oof.
Yeah. October 19th. It's already
Terry.
sealed. It's-
Tuesday. As soon as Joy
I'm
gets back
powerless to
from
stop
his
this, Terry.
break, holiday.
Man, we need to hog tie you. Put,
Terry, it's happening.
I know, but here's the thing. I made the bet, Terry, with Darren. I can't tell Darren. If I tell Darren no, I get one of these to the jaw.
I'd rather get my
Ask
ass.
Isaac how that worked out.
I'd rather get my ass beat every day for the rest of my life by Darren McCarty than to have a Lions tattoo anywhere on my body.
But it's a Lions limo breaking down. It's like the truth of the, it's not my smartest bet. I'm not going to lie. It's not my smartest bet. Maybe if I would have had underdog.
What was the bet? That they beat the Bears?
Yeah, that they would go 10-7.
Yeah.
Why would you do something like that when I told you over and over and over again it wasn't going to happen?
People don't.
Why are you so damn hard-headed?
Well, now my security's gone. I'm in a room by myself. Like, I might get hogtied and beat up. I don't know.
Well, Terry, people don't listen. But you should listen to what Art's going to tell you right now.
Yes, you should listen to me. If you're going to listen to me at any time, listen to me now, people, okay? Maybe if you had the Underdog app, your fantasy football team would be doing better. And you're like, well, idiot, I did that at the beginning of the season. Well, for one, don't call me an idiot, because two, I'm going to help you, all right? You can do weekly fantasy. Not just like once a year and that's it, boom, it's done. No, weekly fantasy through their slick mobile app. Look at that. Look at that layout. I'm like a weatherman right now. Look at that layout, okay? It's beautiful. It's awesome. Use the code WSN. Deposit $10. You get $10 free. It's weekly fantasy. Or go to UnderdogFantasy.com, the App Store, Google Play Store, and sign up. Use that promo code. You will not be disappointed, unlike me, who makes terrible betting decisions. We got more of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back in here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl, next to the very dapper T-Foss. Terry Foster, Detroit sports media legend. Art Fish, they are here as well. All the texters, everybody in the YouTube chat, social media, everything. Appreciate having you all along for the ride as well. Did want to wrap up some of the NFL play, and we touched on it briefly, but we'll start with the Patriots-Buccaneers game. Dom Rivera says, anyone see that half hug that Belichick gave Brady? Looked like Tom didn't even know that it happened. Now, Terry, reports have come out that I guess Brady and Belichick kind of arranged a meeting, so they spoke their piece to each other behind closed doors, which I figured might be the case.
Right.
So,
and if you look at Belichick, he gives everybody a half hug. That's it. He's there and he's gone.
Right. Absolutely. And you know what? It dawned on me, and as I always say, we're a very binary society right now. Everything is yes and no, left and right, black and white, even or odd. Like that's just the nature of the beast of where we are right now. But it did hit me yesterday. And while I always shade towards Tom Brady and the whole Tom Brady, Bill Belichick thing, both things can be true. That's, both things can be true with those two.
You've only said that 50 times a day.
It's both things can be true Monday.
It must be.
Yeah.
But do you only say that when I'm here, or do you do it when Joyke and Darren are?
No, I do that when they're here, too.
Just want to make sure.
D-Mac loves it. He might get a both things can be true tattoo.
He likes everything.
He does like everything.
Yes.
Don't tell him what. Tell him who.
Okay.
Why?
And tell him the why. I get it mixed up sometimes. No, but Terry, as you go across the NFL, you look at what happened. Again, I'll just say it. Tom Brady's deal with the devil continues to pay off. That field goal bounces off the upright, and the Buccaneers get the win.
True, but you have to put yourself in position to get luck. And that's what Tom Brady does. His job was to score and take the lead and then wait and see what happened. So Tom Brady, I thought, had I would say an up and down game last night. I was impressed with Mac Jones. There's the rookie. It's Tom Brady's day. And although he didn't score touchdowns at the end, he still put his team in position to win. And I think that was a pretty tough spot for a young guy like that.
No, it was, and he showed his mettle. I mean, you know what that looked like? That looked like a guy that played at Alabama for national titles and SEC championships. That was a guy that's played in big games before.
But you know why people said he couldn't play? Because he can't run.
Right.
Back in the day, it didn't matter if you could run or not.
Yeah, he is. But his numbers, those accuracy numbers, those can't be faked, Terry. And I don't care where you play. If you're playing at Alabama against the Citadel or wherever, he is an accurate thrower of the football. He is. And you saw it on display yesterday. Boom, right in the chest. Boom, right in the chest. Every single time. He is. He's a good football player. Now, will he be? But you know what you also did see? You did see the scheme. And that's where I drew part of the conclusion about the Belichick thing. You saw the scheme in play where the routes were there. The receivers were open. The throw was accurate. Was it the run and shoot 5 wide? No, it was all controlled, and it was execution based.
Right. And Tampa Bay obviously has some problems with their secondary, so it was a perfect storm.
No, absolutely. And the other thing, real quickly to wrap up the Tom Brady discussion, where he showed to me something I always knew and something I always admired and not a lot of people talk about, how they managed the clock, how they went down, got points right before the half when they were getting the football back. They did not play very well in the first half at all whatsoever, but they got that score before the half. They got the ball back to start the second half. So it was a situation where for New England, they went through like 25 minutes of actual time before their offense touched the ball again. And they played that field position. They broke through. They got their touchdown. It's something he's done his entire career, Terry. I mean, he's a master of the clock, a master.
Right. If you had your boy Dan Campbell out there, instead of kicking the game-winning field goal, he would have gone for it.
But you know what, though? They did. You see how he did sling 2 in the end zone? Looking for Antonio Brown. That was by design, too, Terry, because it was right in front of that 2-minute warning to where he left them enough time. if they missed the field goal, they still would have had a shot to get a stop and get the ball back.
Right.
And that was all by design. Like, and I heard Chris Collins were saying, "Oh, they're going for it all. It's kind of risky and stuff like that." I don't think that was risky at all. I think that was a math equation that he was filling.
It was, but also you could flip it and say it was a bad move because then you gave Mac Jones too much time to come down and kick the game-winning field goal with no time left. So there's two ways to look at that.
Right, but if you do convert the touchdown, you take the field goal out of play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a controlled gamble.
Sure.
It's a controlled gamble. If you score that touchdown, the field goal's out of play, and you're going to say, all right, rookie, go down the field and beat us. And he didn't do it because he didn't get him close enough to make the field goal. So that was it for me. It was just one of those things where it was intriguing to see how great Tom Brady is and not just throwing the football, like all the little games within the game. So, that's just something. Anything else jump out to you across the course of the NFL yesterday?
I tell you, once again impressed with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
He is a master of what he does. Now it seems like Green Bay had their hiccup, and now Aaron Rodgers and all those guys are like, okay, now it's time to play football.
Right.
This is what we have.
I know, and that's where the Lions blew it, man. They had a chance to kill the whole organization, and they didn't do it.
And now now the big bad bear is back again, breathing fire.
Boy, that Steelers team looks cooked, don't they?
Yeah, especially Big Ben.
Which this was the way it was always going to end,
right?
With Big Ben. There was no, there was no good way that it was going to, and it was going to look bad, just given the nature of what it was. I mean, great career though. But it's time to write Big Ben off, Terry.
Now he's looking a little fat and sloppy now.
Yeah, he is. And so, that's the end. But look at that body of work, though. They're entitled to miss the playoffs once, I guess. The Steelers are. Mm-hmm. You go across, you look at the young quarterbacks that were out there, the Giants and the Jets, huge wins for Lions fans. Again, at the quarter poll right now, just the Lions and the Jaguars, the only two winless teams out there right now. Zach Wilson made some plays and won a football game. I guess if you're a Jets fan, you're encouraged by that. But, it's good for the Lions, Terry.
It's draft picks. That's all we're talking about. Draft picks, sure. Just roll.
Yeah, and that's really all you got. The Seahawks beat the 49ers. The Cleveland Browns, Terry, they're looking good, man.
They were. You always wondered what year would the light turn on? Because 2 years ago, we were hearing, okay, Cleveland's going to be good, but that team was immature. They weren't ready. Now, perhaps, mentally, they're ready to win. They know how to win. They don't get too high and kind of fizzle and stuff like this. Maybe it's a more mature team.
Well, and they fired Freddie Kitchens, who was an abject failure as a coach. You talk about bad clock management.
Right, yes.
He torpedoed that team as much as anybody else did. Mm-hmm. At least I always thought so. And it was a matter of time before he was going to get 86.
Beckham is not as interested in being a household name or a superstar. He got rid of his little blonde hair and everything. Maybe now he's more interested in being a team player.
The Chiefs had to have it. They got it. Patrick Mahomes rolled out 5 touchdowns, very Patrick Mahomes performance. And I know it was against the Eagles, but Terry, it was on the road. It was a game they had to have, and they got it. And we talk about Green Bay righting the ship a little bit. The Chiefs were sitting at 1-2, and you know this, man. 1-3 versus 2-2 is all the difference in the world.
But there's certain teams in the NFL, Green Bay, Kansas City, New England back in the day, when you started talking about are they in trouble, that's when they would just rise up and just look like world beaters.
Yeah.
And so, Kansas City is one of those teams. They're not going to die yet.
Yeah, I mean, people were – and I wonder why that is, too, with the Chiefs, where, again, Patrick Mahomes, one of the best players, if not the best player. If you were going to start a franchise right now, he'd be in that short conversation of guys that you would take.
True, but he was trying to do too much.
Right, but I wonder why, though, people are always so quick to shovel dirt on the Chiefs all the time. I don't understand
that's what we do. That's what society does.
Build you up to tear you down.
Right. Patrick Mahomes is trying to do too much. Your coach is in the hospital, so there were signs that maybe something was going on wrong here.
Right. And I guess the biggest story, we'll wrap up the discussion with this, is the Cardinals. Terry, they pounded the Rams yesterday.
Right.
In L.A., something no one saw coming. Nobody saw that coming. And I've sat here on this microphone and looked into that camera and said, I'm a Cardinals guy. I really enjoy watching Kyler Murray play. He's a lot of fun to watch. But they got to do it when it matters. And their narrative can't be told until we get to Thanksgiving, because we've seen this act before from the Cardinals. But for them to take that step, they're going to have to do it later in the year. But no one saw that one coming.
Yeah, but did it really matter?
No, it does, but it doesn't. I know what you're saying.
It matters in December and January. I mean, I think last year Kansas City got their butts beat by somebody, and they came back and won the division.
Yeah, they lost to the Raiders at home. Yeah, I do remember that.
So I think now, for instance, New England, when they had Tom Brady, look at their record in September. I think they were just above 500. They were Lion-esque, just above 500 in September. But October, November, December, couldn't beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, it'll be – we know who the players are. We certainly do. And it doesn't look like it's going to change. But in home security, we know who the players are too.
Hey, we sure do, and it's Guardian Alarm. They just get it. It's simple as that. Guardian Alarm, a good defense on and off the field, helps you feel secure, and that's why Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology, helps you feel safe with all the 24/7 local monitoring you could ever want and desire. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features, lets you lock, unlock the doors, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, control the lights, temperatures, all that. It'll even let you, again, lock and unlock your doors, which is a pretty awesome feature. If you're leaving, you're in a hurry, you got to go get eggs for Joik, and you forget to lock your doors, you ain't got to worry about it. Guardian Alarm will lock those doors for you. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. Thank you. That was 800.
Stay out.
Thank you, Fish. I appreciate it. The number one more time, 800.
Stay out.
Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, final segment of the show. T-Foss, Terry Foster in the house. Joik and D-Mac will be back here tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow, too. As long as they don't change the locks or anything like that, Terry. We'll see, though.
I don't think there's locks on this building.
Okay.
You just walk in 24 hours a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Fish, the child of the Flint Streets Art, is in the house as well. But coming on the stretch of the show, Calvin Johnson's A Football Life. Debuted on Friday night. If you can, go back on our YouTube channel, our podcast page as well. The Big D Energy podcast page is available on iTunes and where you get your podcast. So go ahead and subscribe to that. That goes right to your phone. It's very easy. If you're lazy like I am, like people always say, Terry, they're like, man, you work hard. You're doing all these games. No, like I do a lot of work, so I don't have to do a lot of work.
Yeah, you can't do everything.
Right.
People expect you to do everything, watch everything, and you can't.
No, you certainly cannot. But the Football Life by Calvin Johnson did drop on the NFL Network. We talked to Calvin about it. As we said, go back and watch that interview. We had a lot of things to say that were pretty cool. I think the main thing that really popped on the social media aspects, Terry, the message to the fans where he said fans of Detroit, Michigan, never mentioned the Lions. But it seemed pretty heartfelt. And look, you knew Calvin to some degree. You covered him. You wrote stories about him, about his family and all that kind of stuff. He is a guy that will talk. He is a guy that does have things to say.
Yeah, you just have to ask him the questions, and you have to get past the Calvin is quiet and doesn't talk narrative. Just ask him. He opens up. And I thought he opened up in this little whatever documentary
production. Yeah,
he was good, and he's open, he's honest, and it is glaringly obvious he is not going to thank the Detroit Lions. And there was one segment where he's talking with his parents, and they're saying, Calvin, you're not being disrespectful. Basically, you're saying, give me my money or else I'm not showing up.
Yeah, and that's, and again, I know that the discussion always reverts back to that because that's what the news of the matter is. But at the same time, it's just for me, the whole documentary and everything like that. Terry, was there anything really, I guess, that jumped out at you, just in terms of something you saw that you might not necessarily have expected to see in there?
No, there was nothing like that. In fact, it was entertaining, but it wasn't as eye-opening as I thought it was going to be. In fact, there's a few nuggets I know about Calvin Johnson. I was waiting to see if they're going to include those in there, because I had a series of conversations with him before he retired, and found out, for instance, off the field stuff, Calvin Johnson believes he makes the best fish tacos in the world.
I'm a big fish taco guy.
Yes. Calvin Johnson was reported missing on Union Lake. He was out there jet skiing, and Dominic Raiola couldn't find him. And so he thought, oh, damn, how am I going to explain this? The best wide receiver in the league
is missing on a jet ski.
Is missing on a jet ski and drowned under my watch. And so Dominic finally, went to shore and everything. He's all nervous and everything. Still hadn't heard from Calvin. He looked over. Calvin is eating pizza with his neighbors.
And you said, like, he'll do that stuff. Like, Calvin, here's a guy, that makes hundreds of millions of dollars as an NFL Hall of Fame receiver, number 2 overall draft pick in the NFL draft. He's just like the rest of us, man. He's sitting there with his neighbor eating pizza.
Right. And another thing Calvin used to do after practice, because he was so frustrated, I think it was part frustration, but part I got to get away. He would take his car after practice, drive to Chicago, and drive back in one day, and then just go home and have dinner.
And see, Terry, I've heard you tell that story before, and that's how much it would eat at him that they weren't winning.
Right.
This is a Hall of Famer, and it's eating at him that he's not winning, to the point.
Right.
Look, I like driving to Chicago. I hate the drive home from Chicago, because
I don't
you drive
like that part in Indiana.
Yeah, I hate that part. Right when you get into Michigan there, the roads get all crappy again and everything. Like, I hate the drive back from Chicago. The drive there is cool because you're excited, you're going there to Chicago and hang out.
Or he would drive almost to Traverse City and come back.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're not talking about, like, around the block.
No.
Or going out for a 20-minute drive. Like, he drives to Chicago or Traverse City.
Right.
That's how much it ate at the man, though.
Right. And he always said there were some spots on his drive back where there would be dips in the road, and you could see the entire landscape. He said he would just floor it because he knew he couldn't get a ticket, because there was no there was no place for the police to hide, and so he wouldn't tell me how fast he would go, but I imagine he was probably in his 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. But just in terms of the documentary itself, though, Terry, what did you like about it?
I like the fact that we got to see the inside mind of an athlete.
Right.
We got to see his family. I thought his mom looked pretty fine. You don't usually look at moms like that, but I thought she was cute. She's a cutie pie. And the fact that he education was important for him.
Right.
Knowing things, and he kept meticulous notes. You know how everything is on computer? He would write out notes and write out plays and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, if you haven't got a chance to check it out, certainly the Football Life on the NFL Network about Calvin Johnson, really the little piece to the fans, I really did enjoy that, because as you talked about, it humanized him. I think it really humanized his relationship with the fans. And that goes to show you, too, for him to put all that stuff aside to where the point where he doesn't even mention the Lions by name, it was that important to him to put all that aside. He swallowed a lot of pride to go out there and because let's be honest, that's a draw for the fans. That's a draw to merchandising. The Lions made profit off of his appearance. Let's just call it what it is, Terry.
But it was good for him, too.
And he wanted to be there. It was important to him.
Right. And I noticed one thing about the documentary. he was a lot of it was filmed outside of Ford Field. He never went inside Ford Field. Now, was that him or was that the Lions?
We'll never know.
Yeah, it's a big mystery.
Yeah. What's not a mystery is you sitting in that chair, Terry. Appreciate you, man.
Love it.
As always. T. Foss, the tip of the hat, right? Look at that hat, guys. This guy, man.
I'm just trying to fit in, that's all.
The swag meter is on 11 with this dude. Let's just say it like that. For Fish, for Art, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks, everybody, for watching Big D Energy. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, see you later.
Boop.